How's it going today here at Nomad Mobile Maintenance and Repair? Today we were finishing up on the 2013 Dodge Dart with the 2-liter head gasket replacement. Just some things that we're going to touch on while we were here. While we had the engine apart, we did notice that the timing components were all in great shape. We didn't notice any gouging, any significant amounts of material taken out of those guides, nor did we notice the chain was stretched, so we did reuse that. I don't think that's necessarily something that's a bad thing to do. I know a lot of people are going to say while you're in there you might as well just replace it, but if the chain doesn't show any signs of stretching, if we have lots of life left into the tensioner, especially as a mechanical tensioner, I don't think there's too much to worry there. I would like to mention, when doing the head gasket, I think it's really important to replace the thermostat and the reservoir cap or radiator cap, because those are easy things to fail that can cause a lot of problems that get overlooked consistently and constantly. I do not like the intake on these engines. I think it's pretty frustrating that you basically have the intake on or you don't. There's no good way to have the engine open, looking at it, and do more testing before you have to pull the appearance cover, which is part of the intake, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I also don't love the fact that for doing the head, you kind of have to pull the intake manifold with the head, and that makes it a lot more cumbersome to get in there. On this engine in particular, I believe it might be missing a dowel pin on the head gasket, so getting this to be properly aligned and not damaged did require a lot more energy, and maybe that's because, coupled with the intake being on the head, it just made it a little bit more cumbersome. We got it on, it's running great. We're not blowing exhaust gases into the coolant. We are not blowing coolant into the oil. So the problems that we were having are solved as of right now. We did have to drill out one of the exhaust bolts. That wasn't too terrible, especially because we had the exhaust out to do that because we knew that we were doing the head. We also did the oil pan as well. We removed that because with the amount of coolant in the oil, I really wanted to make sure that we were able to get all the residual sludge from that out, and I'm really glad that we did because there was a good amount left in there. I do not love that there is a ton of tools that you need to do stuff like this, because it jumps constantly from 8 to a 10 to a 12 to a 13 to a 15 to a 16. There's a couple 17s, 27. I mean, there's so many tools that you need to do this job, and I think that's kind of inappropriate, especially considering this is an entry-level car, as opposed to the Hyundai Accent that we have coming up that required a 8, a 10, a 12, a 14, and a 17. And that's everything to get the engine. So, it's just a difference in how the manufacturers did it. We made sure to prime the oil system before starting the vehicle so it ran nice when we started it up and didn't have any strange ticking noises. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Nomad Mobile Maintenance and Repair.